let's see. Okay, this is good. This might have to reduce it at some point. I don't know. Okay, so welcome to Daily Deltarune Boss Challenge number 199, which is also going to be Boss Rush number 11. Tomorrow is going to be 200. I might have an idea of what to do. I'm just not 100% sure about it. But yeah, let's see. I don't know how it would rank fruits. There's not a lot that I eat that I enjoy. Right, of course. Of course. It's a shame Slugsay isn't here. He would love this. Can we talk about the fact this was a 1 in 25 chance, by the way, to happen? I got it 2 days ago after getting it twice in a row. This is comedic levels of bad luck at this point, but it's not even funny because of how often this happens. It's insane. Teammates can support. Oh, also, you know, for some reason, the Shadow Mental doesn't work in the solo boss rush for Rase. I forgot about the 9,000 defense. Thought for sure I had changed it back, but I guess not. Yeah, low tier solo Rase on a boss rush too. That's gonna be fun. Well, low tier. I don't even think, no, Scarf Mark isn't considered low tier, so I'm gonna be stuck with the Fiber Scarf. And I get, what, 8 points for this? Well, obviously I need a Shadow Mental, but, Shadow Mental, where is it? Oh, Susie has it. Shadow Mental and Silver Card. Don't mind the other items, it's just a bunch of stuff from the Boss Rush mod. Those don't really matter. Okay, what can I get with Susie? I guess let's do Spike Band and... do I not have Chainmail or anything? Or even a Lodestone? Whatever, Silver card it is. Twin Ribbon. I don't have a Twin Ribbon. Let's get a Twin Ribbon. Twin Ribbon, and let's go with Tenatai, I guess, if I can find it. I don't have one. Let's get another one. Okay. Okay, let's see. You know, normally I would do the solo boss rush with Rase, but the problem is, yeah, it doesn't... The Shadow Mental does not work for some reason. I never really understood why, but yeah. Oh wait, I still have the Planet Buster. I can't have the Planet Buster. Let's get Bounce Blade. Okay, what? Yeah, I forgot about Planet Buster, but now it's, we're good. And dealing the damage required to get to the last phase is gonna take a while, because what I'm gonna do is I'm going to to attack to deplete his HP, and then pacify him from the 30 turns requirement. I just need to reach the last phase at 40% HP first, but this might take a little bit. You know what's frustrating? I can't even heal with Susie and Chris. They can support, but they can't heal directly. Favorite secret boss to fight? Don't really have a favorite. The one that I find interesting to do sometimes is Tenna, considering, you know, the different acts. I don't really have a favorite, but I feel like I'm probably gonna like doing the Chapter 5 bosses. Only 5 days, well, 6 days until I start using those. Should I? Nah, I'll be fine for now. Gerson is coded to give different stars to the party depending on what acts, what stuff you use. For example, he gives a bunch of stars if you check him twice with Chris, or if you try to use Pacify on him. He gives you a bunch of stars. Otherwise, the usual stuff gives less stars. You know, Root Buster only gives 3 instead of 8, because if you keep attacking with Chris and Ralsei, you can basically get enough TP for Root Buster consistently. And constantly. But, yeah. But yeah, it's been coded in a way so that, you know, you can get some stars with other stuff. Even Susie's healing spell ends up being only 3 stars. Kind of a scam on that one. I wonder if we're gonna get an actual boss rush in the game for Chapter 7 or something. The only way I could imagine this working is if, you know, because of the amount of darkness, the Titan spawn managed to take the form of previous bosses. And you'd have to fight them again. Well, except the Knight, of course, but I'm not even sure the Knight would be included in this boss rush, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna, well, I remain convinced that the Knight is going to be the chapter boss for Chapter 6. Well, there goes Susie. Oh right, I only have 1 party member. I'm so used to doing double defense, well I did, but Susie's down, so I'm wasting turns for no reason. Man, he really likes using Club Bomb, huh? Oh right, I don't have any items anymore, that's bad. I forgot to restock on items. Well, I'll have to do it with what I got left. Yeah, of course we'll recruit them. Yeah, imagine if we recruit the knight for Castletown. Well, yeah. How would that even work, you know? The knight is actively working towards causing the roaring. I'm not even sure Ralsei would let it happen. I do wonder how Ralsei would react if we bring the flowers to Castletown, especially Flowery. He'd probably get fire shock instantly. No thorn ring needed or anything. He'd just cause an inferno on the spot. An inferno so strong it ends up being so bright it just outshines the dark fountain and, you know, just cancels it out. Because I think, yeah, that's it. I discovered what the ending of Deltarune is going to be. Flowery is going to show up to Castletown. Ralsei will try to will burn him with an inferno, and it's going to cancel out the dark fountain. Gentle parenting. The belt type. Well, I don't really have much to say. Like, I like cats and dogs. It's not like, I don't have any, because, like, I live in an apartment, so it would be hard to take care of a pet, but, I did grow up mostly with dogs. So I'm probably more of a dog person than a cat person, but I mean, I like cats too. It's just like sometimes they can be a bit, how do I put it, difficult. Can't wait for Chris and Susie to get knocked back out instantly with because of the Chaos Bomb. Oh, never mind. Okay, well, since I'm here, I might as well take this time to heal them a little bit before pacifying him.
And then bye-bye.
Yeah, I've had cats, even if it's more recent. My parents did end up getting cats when I was, what, I think 8. The first one was around when I was, well, actually I was 7, but yeah. But it's just sometimes cats can be a little bit difficult. Okay, I do have an idea. It's gonna end up being pretty similar to what I did in my challenge for Snap the Neo, my challenge video. I'm gonna snap him to 70% so that I can start the last phase, and he's gonna start taking damage, and I'm gonna deplete his HP with Ralsei. So it's gonna end up being a bit similar to what I did for the challenge video, but I'm also going to deal damage with Rousey along the way. And yet where I live, where my parents live, there weren't really any stray cats around. Well, there was one or two, but they were almost wild at this point because this is a very rural area. Force of habit. Dang it, I keep doing this. There we go. Yeah, I'm 21. You must have seen my post, my old post where I said that I turned 17 at some point and someone responded with GG. Okay, I can start dealing damage now. I think his defense even started decreasing. There we go. I think the most fun boss to fight, if you're not going for like min-maxed optimization like I did, if I don't include the chapter 5 bosses, it would probably be Tenna, just because, you know, there's the mini games, so it ends up being like it's pretty fun to do because like you have the different mini games. Otherwise, I do enjoy the flowery fight because of the orange soul mechanic. Least favorite to fight has to be Eram though. God, I hate Eram. Honestly, the main reason I hate Eram so much is because his bombs are mostly RNG based for the placements, so it just ends up screwing me over every single time. Well, actually, like, most of his attacks are RNG dependent, you know. And we all know that RNG loves to screw me over. Alright, since I am allowed to support, I can use Supercharge. Oh, Supercharge isn't working properly. The shots are fast, but it doesn't charge faster. I wouldn't say the orange soul was that similar to yellow. Like, yeah, it does allow you to break through attacks, but Like, I know it turned yellow during the first part of the fight, but you know, that could just to make you think it's going to be yellow, and then you get surprised by the fact it's the orange soul. But, you know, I guess they're technically an offensive soul mode, but I wouldn't say they're that similar. And I don't think Cyan is going to change gravity or something like that, similar to Blue, because like for bravery, it makes sense that it would end up being on some sort of offensive move. Sorry, some sort of offensive mechanic. But because it's the bravery trait, you know. So obviously, you know, you attack, you know, you're brave, you fight. But when it comes to Cyan, it's the patient soul, so I don't know how it's gonna work. You know, obviously, with all the AUs and fan games that have been created, there have been well, Cyan being a shield would end up being very similar to Green, even though, like, you know, Green and, you know, Cyan is in between Blue and Green, but I don't know. Like the ball in Geometry Dash, I feel like that would be more the altered mechanic of the Blue Soul for, because we still haven't gotten the Blue Soul, and when you look at how the game is set up, every soul mode that has been in Undertale before has had its mechanic modified slightly. Like Yellow, normally, you know, you just shoot, but the charge shot was added. For Green, you end up having diagonal parries. And Purple allows you to move like similarly to how the Joy-Con attacks work for the Manu fight. So you still keep the main mechanic of, you know, going up and down as on the spider webs, but you can also go left, right in certain spots, so it ends up being a slightly altered mechanic. So if I had to guess, it would be something like that for the Blue Soul, where instead of, you know, being so affected by gravity, you end up like switching between gravity to dodge. So yeah, a bit similar to how the ball works in Geometry Dash. And also kind of like how it works with the Sans attacks, but instead of being caused by the enemy, you just end up doing it yourself to dodge. Could be interesting, you know, to dodge certain attacks that way. Uh, 3%. I should be able to do 2 attacks and finish the fight. Alright. Well, no, going up instantly would be more like the spider in Geometry Dash. Okay, I can support, so that means I can use Hold Breath. This might take a while, though. Because this is low tier items, and I think the damage requirement for the knight was increased for the boss rush. So it might take a bit. I'm not sure I get what you mean by the swing copter. I don't see anything. maybe the Science Soul would have something to do with the X to slow down mechanic, you know, because I don't know if you don't know, when you press X during an attack, you can move slower like this. So maybe doing something like that would end up like, I don't know, reducing your hitboxes, or maybe, yeah, generate a shield like you were saying earlier, or like a protection of some sorts. So whether you move slow or you even don't move, because it is supposed to be the Patience Soul, so... Is it the orb you call the swing copter? Hey, Annie. The thing you call the swing copter, do you mean the orb? I mean, I assume you're talking about something in the platformer mode, but I'm not sure I see what you're talking about. Hold on. Huh? No, Oh, Amberlight Crystal, he's talking about a Roblox game, a space simulator game. You know, you explore planets, you find resources and artifacts, you extract them, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, no, I don't think Rudy died from the fall, because I'm pretty sure Noelle would be much more distraught if that was the case. You know, she would probably be like in a... she would probably be having a panic attack. If she had found out her dad died. He probably passed out or something, but yeah. No, yeah. Hey, NK. No, I think you... yeah, I think you figured it out. It's a solo Rouse boss rush. With load tier items too, because otherwise it wouldn't be funny. I would just do the actual solo boss rush for Rouse, like I said, but the Shadow Mental doesn't work in it, so... I don't know if Rudy will be okay. Because obviously, you know, he was sick, and his condition seems to be getting worse over time. You know, he coughs a lot more, he seems more tired and all of that, but, you know, he tries to keep a brave face for Noelle, you know, so she doesn't worry, but, yeah. Why am I only taking 21 damage? That seems very low. It would be a cool idea, but yeah, I know one of the earliest animations I've seen after the release of Chapter 4 was a theory that in Chapter 5, that Noelle would end up, you know, Rudy would would pass out, you know, during the festival, and Noelle would end up opening a dark world to try and save him. which, but you know, being in the open, it would end up causing the roaring, basically. If he passed away, he would probably turn to dust, because it does seem like the rules that of monsters turning to dust on their death from Undertale, it seems to apply also in Deltarune. $21 seems very low for damage. I think this attack is glitched. It's supposed to do 3 times more, I'm pretty sure. It's like the Shadow Mental's effect is applied twice. But you know, in hindsight, the solo boss rush doesn't, like the Shadow Mental doesn't work, so is that what happens? I don't know. Yeah, I've seen the Alan Becker animation versus Geometry Dash. It was pretty funny, like even the part where he just, you know, not moving because he's bummed out about losing so much, so he just keeps dying to the first obstacle. You know, that's pretty real. Yeah, I see they put an ID for the level, but yeah. I don't play Geometry Dash that much, so I probably wouldn't be able to do it either. What I want to say... Oh yeah, I just remembered something too, you know, that I was thinking about. Back when Chapter 2 released, you know, it was like... I think it was around 2023 when I saw it, but anyway. I was watching a meme compilation for Deltarune, and, you know, there are a lot of memes about Burley being dead in the weird routes, and I remember leaving a comment saying that, you know, Burley was probably not dead, because he would have turned to dust if that was the case, and he's probably, like, falling down or something, and, you know, that comment popped up in a later compilation, and people started saying that, like, they saw the meme and said, left a comment saying, you know, saying, oh yeah, the guy is crazy, you know, saying, Burley is like falling down or something, and I left a comment on the video that had my comments saying, you know, we didn't have that much information back then, but it seemed to make sense that monsters still turn to dust when they die. So my so-called crazy theory from 2 years ago isn't that crazy. And you know, it ends up being basically confirmed since, you know, Gerson is basically the Darkner reincarnation. Well, the old man is the Darkner reincarnation of Gerson through his dust. You know, we have confirmation that monsters do turn to dust when they die, even in Deltarune. Even despite the whole theory that, you know, Susie would be part human or something because she has she bleeds, you know, she says everyone bleeds. And monsters aren't supposed to bleed because they don't have enough physical matter to do so. Yeah, Carol has it hard, you know. I get that she's very, well, ironically cold most of the time, but it's probably part of the reason, you know, she's doing whatever it is she's doing in shelter or whatnot. Because obviously there's a connection between Carol, Chris, and the Knight, and whatever they're doing is probably related to Rudy and I guess Des. So she...
you know, she's probably desperate or something. She just keeps her cold demeanor because she, you know, probably has a way of coping, actually. As for the weird round, I don't really know, because, like, yeah, Noelle and Chris basically drown in the lake, but I don't know. I don't know how aware Carol is about this. I mean, yeah, there are graves for monsters, but, you know, we know that Alvin took the hammer from the grave to bring it back to the church, which, you know, kind of raises suspicion about him and his implication about all of this. But it does seem that most of the ritual around death in Deltarune is similar to Undertale, because Susie says, and it's something that you read also in the library in Snowdin, when monsters die, their dust is spread around the object they cared about most, you know. You know, it's a symbol, you know, an object that represents them, you know, that they hold dear. Oh, heartbeat becomes twisted. That's the end of the night fight. Azure has a night skin? What? I'm gonna have to check that out, but because I checked the skins like pretty quickly. I didn't really check, but please stop taking damage. And alright. Okay, now it's all a matter of surviving. Okay, Susie is gonna be knocked out for the entirety of the fight. There's no way I'm reviving her. Like, she has and, you know, I'm not gonna be able to... Well, I might be able to skip one attack if I use Pacify, but... Yeah. I'm gonna wait until Chris gets up and I'm gonna start healing them. Get them to full HP so I have a little bit of leeway when it comes to survivability. I think it's mostly gonna be a matter of surviving until the end. Now, it sure would be a shame if I were to die here, wouldn't it? That's a lot of bounces. That was a lot of bounces. Oh yeah, that attack. You wanna know something funny about my my pink fight? You know, for doing the fight as fast as possible? When I made, you know, when I planned for the beating Chapter 5 bosses as fast as possible, I didn't actually know that share food could be used to gain more than 2 Doki at a time. You know, I had a feeling that some items gave 2 Doki and others gave 1, but I didn't know there was even 3 or 4. And I guess technically 15 with the Fave Sandwich, which is an unused item, but I didn't know about it, so I originally did the video, like I made the fight, I recorded it, and I had spent 11 turns on the pink fight, which, you know, wasn't too bad. I thought it was good, and I didn't know if there was a way to speed it up with the Giga or Mega Flirts. So I finished the recording, I edit the video, and right as while I'm making the thumbnail and starting, you know, and just checking YouTube generally while making the thumbnail, I noticed someone who posted a video about no hitting pink in 10 turns. You know, after I was done editing the video with with 11 turns. Well, NK, maybe you can just press the life button to get back to the live. You know, you might be a bit behind, but you can probably catch up that way. But yeah, so back to pink. I see the 10 turns, and I think, God damn it, I have to redo it. But you know, I was thinking, if 10 was the, it seemed to be the usual amount of turns it would take for people, and I thought, you know what? I did 11, it wasn't enough, someone did 10, and I decided to try and find a way to do 9 turns, but basically out of spite. And you know, it took some planning, but eventually I managed to do it. But after I did the video, like, I think I saw it like 3 or 4 days ago, I was just curious to see if anyone else had actually done pink in 9 turns, and I stumbled upon a video of someone who actually beat pink in 9 turns too. But they actually used a different strat than me, where I went for a full tension loadout to because I thought it was the only way to actually reach the required amount of TP for this. I noticed they actually had both twin ribbons. They actually used both twin ribbons to actually, because if you have both twin ribbons, you can actually fully graze the bombs even without getting too close. Like, you can be on the tile next to the bombs and it still grazes fully, so it ends up being reliant. But I didn't even consider it because I thought that getting 2 twin ribbons would nerf the TP gain so much that it would make it impossible. Otherwise, their item usage and whatnot, like the axe, were the exact same as me. Well, I could do 9 turns no-hit pink, but I don't want to make a video about no-hitting the bosses as fast as possible now. I want to wait until Chapter 7 is out. You know, do all of the bosses with minimum turns and no-hit, but once all of the bosses are actually released. But on another note, there it is. You know, obviously, Hammer of Justice is just the final. It's the final lab, but it ends up being fine. You just have to keep healing. It's not if you just survive, it's probably, it might end up being the easiest out of the 4, at least in the succession of the boss rush, because at least in solo, because you can just focus on healing and defending, you know, to reduce the amount of damage you take. The others, they just take so long that it increases the chance that you mess up and die because you didn't heal enough, or there's one turn where you're not careful and you take more damage. But yeah, it's mostly the knight. I'm still curious because it seems like the damage reduction was a bit too high on the Shadow Mantle for the box split attack. I don't know, it's a little bit weird, but there it is. So thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.